It's time to stop stalling and start planning that 2-day Disney World trip you've been daydreaming about. We got a whole 2-day Disney World itinerary planned and ready for you to use for your upcoming weekend getaway. I mean, come on, it's just a couple of days. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. What I've learned from doing this blog for many years now, yes, I'm very old, is how popular quick weekend or 2-day getaways to Disney World are becoming. And there are a lot of good reasons for that. You don't have to take off as many or any vacation days. You get to save money on hotel rooms and tickets. And you don't have to experience that 3-day theme park slump where your body starts to wave the white flag on you. Because when you just can't take the heat and the steps anymore, you can go home and go to bed. The only problem with shorter trips like this is time and not having enough of it. So what we're going to do today is come up with a 2-day itinerary that'll give you 2 full days in the parks and lots of memories to take home with you. Okay, 2 important things before we get started. 1, keep in mind that today's itinerary does schedule separate arrival and departure days, so you may need to adjust your own itinerary accordingly if you'll be flying into Orlando on a park day or departing from Orlando on a park day. And 2, if you need a place to jot down your Disney World schedule ideas or to start creating a vacation budget or even keep track of your hotel/flight/dining reservation info, we've got a free Disney World planning worksheet that you can pick up right now by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or by clicking the link in the video's description for disneyfoodblog.com/disneyplans. Okay, are you ready? I am. Let's go. Arrival. It is time. It is finally time for your little sneaky getaway to Disney World. We've got so much to do while we're inside the Disney bubble, but first we've got to get there. If possible, I'd recommend booking an much earlier flight so you can take advantage of the free water park perk available for Disney hotel guests on check-in day. Now, the free water park perk is only offered on your hotel arrival day, and it can't be carried over to any other day beyond that, so if you can use it, fab. That means you are able to squeeze in one more Disney park into your 2-day vacation. Also, keep in mind that the free water park perk only goes until the end of 2025. Once 2026 rolls around, the free water park perk is going to return during the summer months, but it won't be a deal you can take advantage of otherwise. If you don't really care about the free water park perk, no problem. Still a good idea to get inside the Disney World bubble as soon as you can so you can get to exploring. Use this extra time to maybe take a dip in your pool or do a little resort hopping, maybe explore Disney Springs. And if you get to Disney before your room is ready for you to move into, which will more than likely be the case if you do arrive earlier rather than later, no problem. Bell services at your resort will hold on to your luggage for you so you don't have to worry about lugging it around. Now, if you're planning a 2-day weekend getaway or just a 2-day vacation in the middle of the week, because you don't have a lot of vacation time left to spare, then arriving in Orlando early might not be an option for you since you may have to leave for the airport right after you get off of work. But even if you get to Disney World later in the evening, you can still take the time to maybe book yourself a nice meal at your hotel or in the Disney Springs district to kick things off pretty leisurely. I can tell you right now, I've had many 11:30 p.m. bowls of macaroni and cheese at Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian, even if I wasn't staying there. There are tons of Disney World resorts that you can book as your 2-day, 3-night home away from home, or you can always book a Good Neighbor hotel that partners with Disney but isn't owned by Disney, giving you a handful of Disney hotel perks at a potentially cheaper price point. But if I were to recommend a place to stay, I'd say choose a resort along the Disney Skyliner route, especially if you're planning on using park hopper tickets, which we will be using during the course of this example itinerary. The Skyliner is a sky gondola system that'll take guests right on over to 2 out of the 4 Disney World parks, Hollywood Studios and Epcot, making it super easy and time efficient to hop between them during the day without worrying about having to factor in a whole lot of extra travel time to make it happen. And that's going to be us for this entire vacation, right? We're going to be time efficient so that we can ride as many rides as we want to. We can eat at as many restaurants as we can. Now, if you're looking to save money on your Disney hotel because you're not really going to be spending a whole lot of time chilling at your resort in the first place, Disney's Pop Century Resort will be your cheapest option on the Skyliner, followed by the standard Little Mermaid rooms at Art of Animation. But if you're willing to splurge for even more Disney theme park convenience, you may want to book a room at one of the Epcot area hotels like Boardwalk Inn or Yacht and Beach Club, Swan and Dolphin. These will not only put you on the Skyliner route, but will literally put you in Epcot's backyard, only steps away from the International Gateway, which is the back entrance of the park. Day 1, commence. For the record, I'm going to be using Park Hopper add-ons for this 2-day itinerary. That way we can experience all 4 parks in just 2 days' time. That being said, for your own personal weekend getaway, you may prefer buckling down and just choosing 2 out of the 4 parks to commit full days to instead of worrying about any extra travel time or having to wrap up a park visit sooner than you wanted. Not investing in Park Hoppers and going the general admission route will also save you quite a bit of money, considering Park Hoppers are going to cost extra starting at $69 per ticket. And since Park Hoppers are an all-or-nothing add-on, unlike Lightning Lanes, which we'll get to in a second, you can't just choose to book one day for Park Hoppers and one day only. Rather, Park Hoppers will be added to every one of your ticketed days, whether you plan to use them on those other days or not. But regardless, I'm going to use them during this hypothetical Disney World trip of ours, just so you can see how to use Park Hoppers the most efficiently over the course of 2 days. Alrighty, Lightning Lanes. First, we're going to start in Disney's Animal Kingdom, since this is the park that typically opens the earliest out of the 4. Now, if we can go to the earliest opening park, that means we're going to get the most possible park time, right? Now, you can get here even earlier if you're staying at a Disney-owned hotel or eligible Good Neighbor hotel, since you'll have early theme park entry, giving you the chance to enter any of the parks on any day 30 minutes before the general public can get in. And don't forget to pack some on-the-go breakfasty items before you head out the door of your hotel. We're not going to have a whole lot of time to eat a sit-down meal during these 2 days, so having packaged breakfast items like Pop-Tarts or dry cereals or granola bars or protein bars will be essential. If you're not able to pack these before your flight, you can also pick some up once you're in the Orlando area over at a nearby grocery store. Or to help you from having to waste any precious vacation time at Wally World or the like, you can always use a grocery delivery app. We like Kroger Delivery, as you know, to have some snacks and breakfast items delivered to your resort before you get there. That way, all you'll need to do is pick up your order from Bell Services, and once your room is ready, you can drop them off. And of course, if worse comes to worst, you can also pick up some on-the-go munchies from your resort's quick service or gift shop. Just be prepared to pay more than you usually would for those fairly basic items at a regular store. All right, back to Animal Kingdom we go. AK really isn't too hard to fully cover, even if you're only planning on spending half a day here, at least ride-wise. But your biggest obstacle is going to be Flight of Passage, which racks up the highest weights of the park consistently. Regardless, even if you do nothing to really plan ahead for that lengthy Flight of Passage wait, you should still be able to conquer all the Animal Kingdom rides, since there's not many you'll have to worry about. But you can always make your Flight of Passage wait time a lot less lengthy by investing in a single pass Lightning Lane ahead of time. So, Lightning Lane, in a nutshell, is Disney's premium skip-the-line service that's broken up into 3 different categories. You've got your multi-pass Lightning Lanes, which will give you Lightning Lane access to most park rides. You've got your single pass, which will give you Lightning Lane access to one premium park ride that's not part of the multi-pass lineup. And you've got your Premier Pass Lightning Lanes, which is the uber pricey Lightning Lane option that'll give you one-time usage for all Lightning Lanes in a single park without you having to do any pre-booking or pre-planning. Talking about Lightning Lanes in their entirety would really threaten to take over the remainder of this video, so if you want to learn more about them from the pros to the cons to the little tips and tricks and recommendations, you can always pick up our free Lightning Lane guide by heading to disneyfoodblog.com/multipass when you get the chance. Again, it's free. We'll send it right to your inbox, and then you've got it and you'll understand everything I'm talking about. But in general, just know that Lightning Lanes can give you a serious upper hand during a short trip like this, since they'll really help you maximize your time and knock out as many rides as you can fit into your day. Which is why you might want to invest in a single pass for Flight of Passage ahead of time. See how I'm coming back to this? Okay, great. You can book up to 2 single passes, both individually priced, 7 days before your hotel check-in if you're staying at a Disney-owned hotel, or 3 days before your park visit if you're staying off property. MultiPass works similarly, where you'll either be able to book Lightning Lane 7 or 3 days out, but instead of paying individually per reservation like you'll have to do with a single pass purchase, you'll be able to reserve up to 3 Lightning Lanes at one time, under that one MultiPass price point, which is per day per person. So, for example, on top of a single pass purchase for Flight of Passage, I'd be able to book Animal Kingdom MultiPass Lightning Lanes ahead of time for rides like Navi River Journey, Expedition Everest, and Kilimanjaro Safaris. And then, once I use my first multi-pass Lightning Lane of the day, I can book another multi-pass Lightning Lane for another ride immediately after, since you can always hold up to 3 at a time. Again, it's a lot to process if this is the first time you're hearing about these, but I promise it gets easier to understand the more you work with the system. So pick up that free Lightning Lane guide of ours so you don't feel like all this multi-pass, single-pass garble is going to break your brain. Here's the cool thing about using multi-pass while you're also using park hopper tickets. You can book Lightning Lanes for the other parks you're planning on jumping to on the same day. The catch? You have to pre-select Lightning Lanes for the first park you're planning on visiting that day first. Since you don't really need Lightning Lanes in Animal Kingdom as much as you'll probably need them in Magic Kingdom, my advice is to book 3 of the earliest multi-pass return times for those Animal Kingdom rides. That way, just as soon as you use one, you can hop back into your My Disney Experience app and immediately book your next one for your priority Magic Kingdom ride. The sooner you can book your next ride, the more time slots you'll find available. Just make sure the return times for the Magic Kingdom rides you're collecting while you're still in Animal Kingdom align with when you plan on hopping over to Magic Kingdom. Lightning Lanes have an hour return window with a little bit of flexibility just in case you're running late. So you want to make sure you arrive within that window if you can, since Lightning Lane windows can and do expire. With all this being said, you don't have to purchase Lightning Lanes at all if you don't want to mess with them. You can always pick and choose which rides you want to prioritize across the parks, and then any others that you happen to knock out beyond those will be the icing, sprinkles, gravy, and cherries on top of your day. Okay, you're probably getting hungry now, right? I'm getting hungry. So after a morning of packing as much Animal Kingdom goodness as you can into a few hours' time, you're going to need to slow your roll there for a minute and slip in a quick lunch break. Fortunately, Animal Kingdom has a lot of solid quick service options for you to choose from, like the hearty barbecue entrees from Flame Tree Barbecue and Discovery Island, the customizable bowls from Satuli Canteen and Pandora, the Pan-Asian options from Yak and Yeti local food cafes in Asia, and a handful of other fast food locations too. You can save more time at these quick services by mobile ordering on your My Disney Experience app while you're waiting in line for one of those numerous Animal Kingdom rides. That way you can bypass the checkout counter completely and have the restaurant prepare your order for pickup when you arrive with everything already locked in and paid for. Now, the way I'm talking about our Animal Kingdom visit so far has probably felt very bam rushed, and I absolutely get it if you'd rather sacrifice not doing as much in this park as you possibly can for the sake of really soaking in the ambiance and taking your time here. Or knocking out more leisurely Animal Kingdom activities like watching live stage shows or strolling along the animal trails, or maybe even taking a sketch class over at Rafiki's Planet Watch. So if you'd rather take on Animal Kingdom at a much more leisurely pace, then you may want to consider booking a table service restaurant for lunch instead, like the sit-down component of Yak and Yeti or the character buffet over at Tusker House in Africa. Or you can do my favorite thing at Animal Kingdom and join the walk-up waitlist for Nomad Lounge in Discovery Island for handmade cocktails, chill vibes, and the best churros in all of Disney World. You can join this list either on your My Disney Experience app or by going up to the host stand of the lounge and adding your name in person. The most important thing to remember when it comes to any of your Disney World restaurant plans is to have a solid idea of how you want to go about dining in the parks, whether that be quick services all the way, throwing in 1 or 2 sit-down meals during your weekend getaway. After all, time is money in Disney World, especially when you don't have a whole lot of time to kill in the first place. So by using our DFB guide to Walt Disney World dining, which you can find now over at dfbstore.com, we're going to save you time and money by helping you figure out where you want to eat in the parks before you get here, and how to create a dining budget that's easy to stick to, as well as hundreds of restaurant tips for first-time guests and seasoned pros alike. This is why I started Disney Food Blog in the first place. Okay, it's time to jump over to Magic Kingdom, so go ahead and use one of the Disney buses if you can. That way, you're going to be taken right up to the park gates, and you won't have to worry about the transportation and ticket center. If you drive or take a rideshare between these parks, you're going to have to navigate the TTC first, meaning you'll have to take an extra mode of transportation the rest of the way to the park via monorail, ferry, or sometimes even bus from the Magic Kingdom parking lot. And depending on the crowds at that time, this could take an extra 30 to 40 minutes of time on top of traveling between point A and B in the first place. Typically, park-to-park bus transportation does not start until 10 a.m., which shouldn't be an issue if you're planning on spending the first half of your day in Animal Kingdom anyways. So this might be a great time to splurge on a minivan, which is Disney's own rideshare service operated through the Lyft app that'll not only give you a private ride over to the park whenever you need one, and a cutesy little polka-dotted vehicle, but it'll also take you right up to the park gates, skipping over the TTC hassle. Just keep in mind that minivans are a whole lot more limited than your standard rideshare vehicles, and they're more expensive. So you'll need to book them a little before you know you're going to need one, and budget that cash aside just to give those vehicles time to reach you and for you to be able to pay for them. Okay, let's snap our fingers and get our busy little selves into Magic Kingdom to initiate part 2 of our Disney Day. If you stacked lightning lanes in Animal Kingdom while you were there, awesome. Go ahead and hit up those rides once those lightning lane return windows open up for you if they haven't already. And if you didn't purchase lightning lanes, no worries, just check the My Disney Experience app to see what wait times are looking like at the moment. That way you can get in line for the rides you feel are the most doable or your biggest priorities. But quick warning, afternoons at Magic Kingdom tend to have the highest ride wait times. So if you want to kill some time and wait for some of those queues to settle down a bit, you can always check out some of the Magic Kingdom AC blasting indoor shows like Enchanted Tiki Room in Adventureland, Country Bear Musical Jamboree in Frontierland, or Carousel of Progress in Tomorrowland, just to name a few. That way, you can rest your feet, get some air, not worry about any long queues, and still get your fill of classic Disney entertainment all the while. Or you could just ride People Mover over and over again, because as the president of the unofficial People Mover fan club, I definitely recommend it. An afternoon of taking things a bit more leisurely in Magic Kingdom could also give you the chance to dine at a sit-down restaurant for a late lunch or early dinner. You go someplace like Be Our Guest in Fantasyland for an immersive Beauty and the Beast experience that's way too expensive, just heads up. Skipper Canteen in Adventureland, that's a Jungle Cruise themed atmosphere and a more eclectic assortment of entrees. Liberty Tree Tavern in Liberty Square for a family-style meal of Thanksgiving eats with Tomato Baby over here judging every bite you take. We're judging you too, Tomato Baby. Or any of the other table services on offer that you can either book advanced dining reservations for or find last-minute wait lists to join. That being said, if you're still in go mode and trying to get as many rides knocked out across Magic Kingdom as you possibly can this afternoon, then you may want to go the quick service route instead. You can eat somewhere like Columbia Harbor House in Liberty Square. They've got surf and turf. Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe in Frontierland for like a Taco Bell dupe, or Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe in Tomorrowland for all your classic theme park staples like hockey puck burgers and some really good chicken tenders. Or maybe you just want to snack your way through Magic Kingdom the rest of the evening. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you've already enjoyed a bigger lunch over at Animal Kingdom earlier. Magic Kingdom is almost more known for their snacks than they are for their full-on meals. Almost. So consider trying those iconic Magic Kingdom snack staples like the loaded waffles from Sleepy Hollow Refreshments in Liberty Square, a warm cinnamon roll or other baked good from Gaston's Tavern in Fantasyland, and actually, the ham and Gruyere sandwich is going to be a very good choice for a quick dinner, by the way, if you're still a little bit hungry over there. The savory spring rolls are over in Adventureland Spring Roll Cart, or a Dole Whip or Dole Whip float from either Aloha Isle or Sunshine Tree Terrace. Very snacky, very light. Now we're coming to the end of the day when Magic Kingdom's nighttime entertainment comes out. There are 2 shows that you can watch in Magic Kingdom after the sun sets. The first is Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. That's the parade, which regularly has 2 showings each evening, one before the castle fireworks and one after. By the way, there is an afternoon parade in Magic Kingdom as well. That's called Festival of Fantasy. If you are a big parade person, then definitely build that into your afternoon. But Disney Starlight is their nighttime parade. I know, they haven't had a nighttime parade for a bajillion years in Magic Kingdom, but alas, we are very lucky right now. Now, the second show is, of course, the Happily Ever After Fireworks, which is that projection and fireworks show that happens at Cinderella Castle one time each evening. Be sure to check on show times via the My Disney Experience app toward the beginning of your day. Not only do you want to make sure you don't miss when the show begins, but you're also going to want to start staking out your spot for Happily Ever After like 30 to 40 minutes beforehand if you want a decent view in front of the castle or down Main Street, USA. For fewer crowds during the Starlight Parade, try to prioritize the second showtime. If your eyes will allow you to stay awake that long, crowds are usually a whole lot thinner for this performance after the fireworks wrap up. And don't forget, during Happily Ever After, post Happily Ever After are always really good times to get in lines for some of those rides that maybe had too intimidating a wait time during the day. So if you're not opposed to skipping the shows, this could be your last chance to knock out those popular rides or even get some re-rides in before the end of the day. Okay, are you ready to take it from the top? Don't worry, I already did all the park hopping lightning lane gab earlier, so we should be able to breeze our way through day 2 without having to stop for any major Disney 101 lessons. We're going to start our day in Epcot for day 2. You can use early theme park entry yet again if you'd like to get a 30-minute head start. This is only a 2-day vacation after all, so being able to soak up as much park time as you can could be a real gift you don't want to waste. Also, if you really did book a hotel room over at one of those Epcot area resorts, like I recommended earlier, or you booked a room at a different deluxe level Disney resort, you can always check to see if your trip aligns with a certain park's extended evening hours, and you can adjust your itinerary accordingly. Sorry, I just told you I wouldn't give you any more 101 Disney lessons, and here I am doing exactly that again. Don't worry though, this is a quick one. Extended evening hours are an exclusive perk for deluxe resort guests only, giving you the chance to stay for an extra 2 hours post-closing time in select parks on certain nights, which you might want to take advantage of instead if you are so tired from yesterday that you just cannot get up with your alarm today. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled park day. Feel free to do the exact same Lightning Lane multipass strategy as you did yesterday. You can book early Lightning Lane times for Epcot rides, then immediately start booking Lightning Lanes for Hollywood Studios rides, so you can have your priorities all lined up and ready to go by the time you get to DHS in the afternoon. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will more than likely be your longest wait of the day in Epcot, so if you don't book a single pass for that one in advance, I'd suggest you get in line for it first thing before that queue gets massive by the afternoon. Or if you've got younger kids in your group, you may want to prioritize getting in line for Frozen Ever After instead, since that one also gets to be pretty lengthy. Rides like Test Track and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure both have single rider queues that you can use if you'd like to, again, unless you've got younger kids in tow and don't want them riding by themselves. And these single rider lines will normally help you cut down on your ride wait times without you having to pay extra for a lightning lane. More so, we usually see Remy having the shortest single rider queue, but I was in Test Track's single rider queue last week and it was a walk-on, so you never know. Other than those few attractions, right, Guardians of the Galaxy, always a long line, Frozen, pretty much always a long line, Test Track, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, pretty long lines sometimes. Those are going to be your most popular, so other than those few attractions, Epcot's other rides shouldn't be too difficult to knock out pretty quickly. The main thing you'll probably want to accomplish while you're in Epcot is exploring the World Showcase and at least doing one thing in each pavilion if you can. If an Epcot festival is happening during your visit, you may also want to use this time to snack around the different festival food booths and make your lunch a more progressive concept across several countries. Or if you feel like you have time to sit and chill for a spell, you may want to book reservations for an Epcot lounge like Space 220 and World Discovery for immersive drinks and bites amongst the stars, or Geo 82 in World Celebration. That's an adults only lounge though, so if you have kids with you, no go. Now, I know it's hard to sit still while you're in Epcot because there's so much to see and do here, but if you're willing to sacrifice an hour or so out of your day for a really solid table service experience, Epcot's got a lot of restaurants to consider. A few of my personal favorites include Garden Grill inside the Land Pavilion. This is a character dining experience where you're going to eat endless comfort food in a slowly rotating dining room with Mickey and Chip and Dale and Pluto coming to say hi. Le Cellier in the Canada Pavilion is a signature steakhouse and an intimate dining room dressed up to look like a wine cellar. It's pretty casual, but it's very, very delicious steakhouse food. So this is usually where I end up personally when I'm there. And Biergarten in the Germany Pavilion. This is a German buffet with live entertainment inside a little village setting that celebrates Oktoberfest year-round. Super fun for big groups, and you can also get a liter of beer here. By the way, if you really are taking things nice and easy during your Epcot morning, instead of rushing around to get as many things done as possible, don't forget to wander around some of the exhibits and experiences outside of Epcot's World Showcase too, like Journey of Water, inspired by Moana in World Nature, the Sea Base Aquariums, also inside World Nature, and Club Cool for lots of free international soda samples in World Celebration. Now, when you feel like it's the right time to hop on over to Hollywood Studios, the next park is just a short Skyliner ride away. And don't worry, even if you're not staying at one of the Skyliner resorts, anybody's allowed to use the Skyliner for free, regardless of whether you booked a hotel room on or off property. So use it while you got it to use. Welcome to Hollywood Studios. If you purchase Lightning Lanes and you've been booking return times for some of your priority studios rides, go ahead and start using them up ASAP. Otherwise, keep an eye on those ride wait times and consider checking out a few of Hollywood Studios' live stage shows while you can. Live shows will close a few hours before the park does, so check those show times at the start of your day while you're still in Epcot so you know which ones you need to hit up at what times so you don't miss out. When the dinner bell starts ringing, you can keep things fast by hitting up one of Hollywood Studios' fast food joints like Backlot Express and Echo Lake. That's designed to look like a production warehouse and serves classic theme park staples along with a few more surprising options like teriyaki bowls. ABC Commissary on Commissary Lane offers more internationally inspired entrees like street tacos and Mediterranean salads. Now, if you're over in Galaxy's Edge, Docking Bay 7 for a more intergalactic take on otherwise familiar foods is always fun for Star Wars fans. Looking for a dining experience that's a little more immersive? 50's Primetime Cafe in Echo Lake is going to have your servers treat you like family, literally, while serving you comfort classics just like Mom used to make. And Sci-Fi Dine-In off Commissary Lane is going to drop you into a drive-in movie setting complete with your own convertible-shaped table, where you'll chow down on diner-style grub as you watch cheesy B-rated black and white sci-fi movie clips. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. Much like Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios' nighttime spectacular is called Fantasmic, and it's another good time to hit up some of the more popular rides at the end of the park day when pretty much everybody else is piling into the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater to grab seats for the show. But if you've never seen Fantasmic before, then you probably want to go check it out. It's really fun and way different from a classic fireworks performance. Oh man, I hate this part of the trip. It's time to start getting ready to go. If you've got the wiggle room before your departure to soak up any last remaining bits of Disney magic that you can fit into your weekend getaway, don't forget that Bell Services will not simply hold on to your luggage for you before your room's ready. They'll also hold on to it if you're wanting to do one last do-si-do without having to worry about toting all your bags and suitcases around. So, since we kind of relied on Pop-Tarts and dry cereal for the past couple breakfasts, maybe now is the time to squeeze in a nice resort breakfast at a place like Boma and Animal Kingdom Lodge, or Cake Bake Shop at Boardwalk Inn, maybe even a character meal at Topolino's Terrace at the top of the Riviera. That sounds like a great way to kind of say goodbye to Disney World for this trip. Remember, it's not just your own resort that'll keep your luggage safe at Bell Services. Even if you're traveling over to a different Disney hotel that you didn't stay in this trip, the other hotel will also hold on to your luggage for you. No problem, to make sure it doesn't crowd you during your meal. But again, a last-minute breakfast might not be in the cards for you if you've got an early morning flight home, in which case, I guess it's back to the Pop-Tarts again. Frosted for me, unfrosted for my scriptwriter Bria, which I don't understand. But anyway, what kind of Pop-Tarts are you packing? Let me know in the comments. If you're flying out of Orlando International Airport in the morning, give yourself plenty of time to actually make it there from your hotel and get through security check too. You always want to think about rush hour traffic, especially in Orlando. If you've booked a Mears shuttle or some other shuttle, they'll come and pick you up from your resort like 3 hours before your flight actually takes off, because they want to make sure you don't miss it on their dime. And that might sound obscene to you at first, but depending on the time of year you're traveling, you might actually be grateful for the 3-hour window, since security lines can get long. If getting to MCO before your flight rests solely in your hands, make sure you book a rideshare hours before your flight's supposed to start boarding. Maybe not 3 hours before, but at least 1 to 2. And consider investing in TSA pre-check before your trip so you can bypass the thick of the security lines. MCO also has an MCO reserve service that you can use instead of TSA pre-check, which is a skip the line service at the airport that lets you completely bypass the security line for free. You're basically pre-booking your security time. To sign up for MCO Reserve, you'll need to visit the MCO Reserve website and put in your flight information and when you'll be arriving at the security checkpoint. You'll then receive a confirmation allowing you to arrive at MCO Reserve during a certain time window, during which you can go through security without the hassle of a wait. Even though MCO Reserve is open from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, only flights departing between 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. are eligible for the service. By the time you reach the end of your 2-day getaway, you're gonna feel as if you've had a whole week's worth of adventures to look back on. But if you've reached the end of this itinerary and you're like, gee, maybe I do need to plan more days in Disney. We do have other itinerary videos available for you that you can check out next. Our 4-day one has been popular with lots of folks. And don't forget to pick up our free Disney World planning worksheets today over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyPlans. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.